Hello there, people of the internet. So, if you haven't heard, the latest ban list for Yu-Gi-Oh! Has come out, and a lot of decks got hit. Well, not a lot of them, just the relevant ones. And they got hit hard. So hard that I actually had to redo a bunch of decks. So we're going to go over all of that today. So, the first deck I'm going to go over is my personal favorite deck, Blue Eyes. I've kind of spread out the main deck in advance to make this whole process go a little bit faster. There's about 15 minutes for every single deck. I'm just going to go over this really quick. What I was originally going to do with this deck is I was going to make Blue Eyes Guard Dragon, but Ib got banned. So, what I was going to do is I was going to put in Needle Fiber, or whatever it's called, I can never pronounce its name, in April. But I can't do that anymore because it is banned. So the deck is dead on arrival. So what I've done instead was put together kind of a meme. A while back ago, I made this deck called Mystic Blue Eyes, where it was Blue Eyes, but it's Mystic Mine. And I got top 4 with it. So there's that. It was at a local event where we were using the world's ban list, and yeah, I got 4th. So this is kind of accelerating that idea a little bit. I took Mystic Mine out, and what I put in was Inspector Border, There Could Be Only One, and Lost Wind. The only card that's really missing is Infinite Impermanence. So, yeah, just really quick. 3 Blue Eyes, 3 Alternative, Dragon Spirit, Solid, Glow Bulb, Legend, and Ancient. And like previously discovered, Inspector Border, Ash Blossom, 3 Turn of the Dragon Lords, 2 Twin Twisters, 1 for 1, Dragon Shrine, just 1. I find 2 or more kind of bricky. The reason why I say that is because when I see 1, I'll always see the other in my opening hand. So that's why I only won 1 now. 2 Melody of Awakened Dragon, 3 You're Going to Brick, 3 Call Up to the Grave, 2 Trade In, Previously Discovered, There Could Be Only One, Previously Discussed, Lost Wind, and like I said, the only card that's missing is Infinite Impermanence. So the extra deck. Here we have Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. It's really good for getting over things that you normally wouldn't be able to get over. Like, let's say your opponent has a Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, or, I don't know, Dingirsu. You normally wouldn't be able to destroy either of those 2. Or, if you try to use Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, it can't target Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, or Dingirsu would just protect itself. So it's really good for getting over both of those situations, because if you attack into either one of those, and it doesn't destroy them by battle, it banishes them, and it's non-targeting. So it's really good for getting over those situations. Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. It negates things in the graveyard, and it contributes itself for either VFD plays, which we'll get into later, or during your opponent's turn, you contribute it for Azure Eyes. And Azure Eyes has really good protection and can summon things from the graveyard during the standby phase of your turn, like Blue Eyes White Dragon, or Dragon Spirit of White, which is a normal monster in the graveyard. Stardust Spark Dragon. It's only here to really facilitate VFD for Cloud Castle. And Cloud Castle will special summon this thing back. You just Xyz them together for True King of All Calamities. And I'm pretty sure we all know what True King of All Calamity does, but just for the sake of the video, it negates things it's just a blanket negate. So, not even negate, it says you can't activate things with this attribute. And it detaches a card, and the declared type cannot activate effects. Or the declared attribute, I should say. Hope Harbinger, it's a spell negate. It was really useful against Sky Strikers, but if you looked at the ban list, Engage, it's now banned. So, it's still really good for negating spell cards, but it's not as useful against Striker, in my opinion, if Striker is alive at this point, which we'll go over later. Galaxy Cypher Dragon. It's really just here to facilitate other cards, like Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon. It's detached to destroy a card. Face up card. And then this can be XYz'd into Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon. And this just destroys any card, face down or face up. The only downside is it has 800 less attack than full armor. So, that's the only downside to that. Otherwise, it's really good. We have Dingusu, which we hard XYz'd into, which is really good. It has protection. It sends things to the graveyard on summon. And if you decide you don't need the protection, you can go into the Seven Sins, which is kind of what this card also facilitates. Lancelot. It is a mandatory negate, just anything. And if you don't need the negate, you go into Pain Gainer, which goes into Seven Sins. And Seven Sins is a 4K body, and you can detach 2 cards, banish all special summoned cards your opponent controls, and attaches one of them, which is really good. And then Link Rebo. This helps us get into other plays with our stones, and it lets us have another zone for, let's say, Hope Harbinger or VFD. And when this goes away, for the battle phase effect, we now have another extra deck slot. So, pretty solid. Side deck, I really don't know what I'm doing with it. I was running 3 Prankertops, 3 Lancias, 3 Evenly, 3 There Can Be Only One, and 3 Dark Ruler No More. But There Can Be Only One is now in the main deck, and Prankertops is now limited. So, I can't do that anymore. So what I'm going to do is, I'm probably going to keep Lancey in there, keep Evenly Match in there, keep Dark Ruler No More in there, and I'll figure out the side deck. Like, I might put in Nibiru as well. I just don't know what I'm going to do with the last 3 cards. Anywho, on with ABC. So you might remember from my last video, I was running a Striker engine in ABC, but with Engage banned, I can't do that anymore. So I could technically run a Hornet Drone and a Widow Anchor, but no. Anywho, so I had to tear all that out. I might play a little bit more with some of these ratios. But this is how I have the deck currently. So I have 3A, 3B, and 3Cs. In my last video, I was running 2-3-2. This ratio has been okay for what I've kind of gone for this build. Once again, I might play around with these ratios again before I finalize it. Nothing has changed with the gadgets. Still 2-2. I have thrown in 3 Galaxy Soldiers for Cyber Dragon Infinity plays. I have thrown in 3 Gizmek Yadas. A lot of people don't like this card. I think it's fine. I think it's a decent play extender. It can tribute off a B, summon itself, and then B searches, and then you summon saying that B searched. And then you go for link plays. 3 Ash Blossoms, same. Pretty much the same thing with Yinhanger, Terraforming Teleportation Pseudospace from my last video. That hasn't changed. I put in 2 Transmodifies so that I can summon Galaxy Soldiers from the deck by sending one of these things to the graveyard. And it's real useful if it's equipped with something from Yinhanger. So, it'll also be really good when a new Master Rule comes out. Since we don't have to put Xyz into the extra monster zone anymore. It is optional to do that. Anywho, and then for the final cards, Call to the Grave, 3 of, 2 Twin Twisters, Upstart, Unit Scramble, 3 Impermanents, nothing has changed there, still the same ratio on all that. What I might do, I might play a little bit more around with Solar Windjammer. I'm experimenting with it a little bit on the Dueling book. And like I said, I might play around with these ratios a little bit more. Like, what I was doing, I was experimenting with just 1 of each of these. I didn't like that very much. With Solar Windjammer. Simply because when I saw it, it'd be way after my first turn. I already have monsters on the board. So what I might do is knock these back down to 2-2 and put in 2 Solar Windjammers. That way it's not as bricky when I see it later in the game, which will happen. And if I see it, it's a good combo starter. So, I don't know. Or what I could also do is take out Gizmek Yada and Upstart Goblin for the same deal. So, there's just some options there. I might play around with these ratios more. To be perfectly honest, I really don't know what I'm doing with this deck at this point. Because as you know from my last video, I was running the Solemn Brigade. I'm not running that at the moment. I went for more combo pieces in this build. So we'll find out Saturday if this works. Now for the extra deck. Not much has changed. We still have 3 ABC Dragon Buster. We still have Redoer, Tornado, Baguska. The real difference is we don't have Abyss Dweller anymore. What we put in instead is Cyber Dragon Nova and Infinity instead of these Striker cards because we can't use those anymore. And we also have Galaxy Eye Soul Flare Dragon. So what this does for us is we summon Galaxy Soldier and we have a piece on board. Let's say the B equipped with A. And we link those 2 off. For this thing, this will add back the Galaxy Soldier, and B will search out a part from the deck, A will add back B, and you can now summon Galaxy Soldier back, and summon the other Galaxy Soldier that's in your hand, add seasons to Cyber Dragon Infinity, make ABC Dragon Buster, and what I will do is I'll actually eat this with Cyber Dragon Infinity so that we don't get super polyed. The rest hasn't changed that much. Platinum, Qliphort Genius. What we're running now is IP Masquerena and Avermax. We actually pulled this at the regional. So, funny story there. But we'd had already printed up the deck list and heard it in, and we couldn't use it that day. Um, so that's the difference from the regional. Still Borreload and Brawl Sword. Still pretty solid additions to the deck. And our side deck has not changed that much either. Still 3 Nibiru, 3 Evenly. I don't remember if I was running Dark Ruler No More last time. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I was running the Anti-Spell Fragrance Imperial Order combo. So, these one of the two of these were actually main last time. That's also one of the differences. We knocked it down to a 40 card deck and not a 41 card deck. Anywho, we ripped out Imperial Order Anti-Spell Fragrance. It wasn't doing us much good. So instead we put in Dark Ruler No More, and we bumped this up to 3. So there's that. Super Poly, that hasn't changed. Starving Venom, that hasn't changed. So instead of Dragon Stapelia, we actually took this out for the longest time, and just so that we could have these cards in the side deck. And we had Dragon Stapelia. However, Colossus got hit as well, so it's not going to be that big of an issue anymore. So Mud Dragon is going to be our target now, and we also have Diplexic Chimera instead of Salamangreat Violet Chimera, because this works against both Salad and Mathmax. So we also have the token, which is cool. So those were my completed decks. I have some that are very much incomplete now because of the ban list, and I really don't know what I'm doing with them. Such example is one right now, Salamangreat. Right now, I have 1 Gazelle, 3 Spinny, 3 Foxy. I plan to get Flame Buffalo up to 3. 3 Sea Archiver, 3 Lady Debug, which was actually released from the ban list this past one. So, cool. I might bump up Jack Jaguar to 2 because of plays that I will go into later. 1 Falco, 1 Foul, 1 Circle, 1 Will, 1 Sanctuary, 3 Silent Manning, 1 Foolish Burial, 2 Twisters, 2 Roar, 2 Rage. So, like I said, I might bump this up to 2. I see a lot of people on the forum that I'm a part of talk about going with Dante, which is, I think, probably one of the better answers to this ban list. I've always been running Foolish Burial in this deck, so this kind of helps out a little bit more now that Marsh Stalio is now banned. So, like I said, this is very much not complete. Because what's missing is Ash Blossom 3 and Impermanence 3. Even at that rate, I don't know what I'm doing with the deck. So, I've been looking around at the forum, getting some ideas. I like the Dante idea a lot, which I will go over right now, actually. Okay, so here's the extra deck. I have 3 Banelings, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Heat Leo, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Bagooska. I'm going to run Dante at 2. I only have the 1 at the moment, and I need to get Pyro Phoenix for this deck. 2 of. That'll put us at 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14. I guess, we could probably put another rank 3 or rank 4. Actually, you know what? No, we'll put Brawl Sword in. Or Borreload. You know what? We might just take out Tornado and Bagooska for both of them. Or just maybe keep Dante at 1 and put in Avermax. That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I really don't know what I'm doing with the side deck for that one either. What I'm probably going to do is 3 Super Poly, Violet Chimera, Star Venom, um, Mud Dragon, Nario, and Nibiru, Evenly, Dark Ruler. You're starting to see a pattern of what I do for side decks. um, so, again, I really don't know. What I might also do is not even bother with Super Poly and just put in Fusion of Fire instead. Or maybe I'll put Fusion Fire and Super Poly in. I don't know. I really don't know what direction I want to take with that deck. And I haven't even touched that deck since WCQ in June. So, yeah, there's that. Which I didn't take part of, by the way. I I did last minute qualifiers and I lost. So there's that. Anywho, next up, Sky Strikers, one of the decks that was majorly affected by the ban list, as previously discussed, because Engage is now banned. So, there have been talks with this deck about making it go second, which I don't think is a particularly bad idea. It's just what a lot of people have pointed out is it's a glass cannon, basically. So, though, I will say that I think it gets better with Rose coming out this week. So, there is that. Anywho, ratios. 3 Ray, 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Drone, 2 Area Zero, 1 Afterburner, 1 Jamming Wave, 1 Multiril, 1 Widow Anchor, 1 Eagle Booster, 1 Silent Universe, 1 Scapegoat, 1 Terraforming, 1 Short Cannon, 1 Reinforcement, 1 Hercules Space, 2 Foolish Barrel of Goods, 2 Twin Toasters, 1 Metal Foes Fusion, and 1 Pankratops. So, this is kind of going in line with the going second idea. We're missing infinite permanence in this deck. I don't know if I want to run there could be only one in this deck at this point. Because there could be only one. I feel like it's more of a going first card. But I don't know. Like I said, Rose, I think makes this theory of making it go second a little bit better. And basically, you go Hayate, send a thing to the graveyard, go into Kagari, add that thing from the graveyard, and yeah. So speaking of the extra deck, we'll go over that right now. So the extra deck, we have 3 Kagari, 3 Shizuku, 3 Hayate, 1 Kaina, 1 Link Rebo, 1 Link Spider, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and 1 Nightmare Unicorn. And what I'm gonna put in is Avermax as well. So what I would like to do is finagle IP in here and Borreload, but I don't think we're gonna get either of those. Or I might get one if we take out Nightmare Cerberus and go that way. But even then, if we can only do like Avermax and Borreload, or Borreload and IP, or IP and Avermax, we can't get all 3 with this ratio. Let's have to take out Kaina, or Shizuku, or Hayate, or at least one of them. So that's where I am with that. So that's some of the decks that I wanted to go over. Orcus also got hit. Heartpower got banned. Thunder Dragon also got hit. Colossus is banned. So I was going to build Thunder Dragon. I was in the process of building Thunder Dragon, but I'm not building that anymore because Colossus is banned, as previously discussed. So, what I did do though is took all the Cinder Dragon cards out. I put Metaphys cards in instead. So we're now playing Metaphys, apparently. And I'm gonna go. I might feature one of my friend's deck lists for that. He had a really good deck list that he made competitive. And we don't particularly like fighting that deck because I'm an ABC player. We like to banish things, but we don't like to banish those things. So there's that. And another deck of mine that was also hit because of the ban list is Prank Kids. You're running a Thunder Dragon engine in that, but it's not as important as, let's say, the Striker engine in ABC. What we did instead, took out the Thunder Dragon cards and put in Tiamat Tommen, and we're also going to put in a small invoked engine, like two invocation, Alistair, and Magical Meltdown. I mean, there's a lot of other cards, a lot of other decks of mine that I like restructure because of the ban list, but those are kind of the major ones that I wanted to go through, because I think they're a lot more entertaining, in my opinion. Like, I was trying to build Odd Eyes Guard Dragon, but I can't do that anymore, and I like Blue Eyes Guard Dragon more anyways. And Electromite got banned, so we can't do that anymore. True Draco got hit. Draconic Diagram is at 1, and Card of Demise is also at 1, and Into the Void is now at 1. So yeah, Konami decided to hit a lot of things. A lot of good things, in my opinion. I think ultimately this is going to change a lot of things, maybe. Like, I don't think Orcust is going to do as well. One of the problem cards was Heart Porter, in my opinion. And the problem card for Striker was Engage. Like, no one can argue that. And I don't know how I feel about Marsh Stalio getting hit. It definitely cuts down on their consistency. I don't know if I agree with Sun Dragon Colossus getting hit to 0. I think getting it hit to 1 was fine, but I don't know. Anywho, that's kind of my sporadic thoughts. I don't have a script. I really should, but I don't. So, anywho. Alright, so when I stopped filming, I got on my computer, and this was the first thing that popped up. So, looks like Altergeist's doing pretty good. Spiral's doing pretty good. Subterror doing pretty good. Salad is still up there. Orcust is still up there. There's my deck at the bottom. There's Striker and Thunder. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. I guess you gotta hit the bell thing now to get notified. So yeah, I am not looking forward to another format of Orcust. It summons, during the standby phase, a normal dragon monster from the graveyard. Ah, goddammit, the camera died! No.